In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? Psalm 56 verse 4. Title equals Unwavering Trust in God, Finding Strength in Psalm 56 verse 4. Introduction. Welcome, viewers, as we delve into the powerful verse from Psalm 56 verse 4. In this verse, the psalmist proclaims unwavering trust in God, highlighting the insignificance of mortal beings in comparison to the Almighty. Today, we will explore the implications of this verse in various aspects of our lives, drawing examples from both the Old and New Testaments. 1. Trusting God's Word. The psalmist begins by praising God's Word, recognizing its power and reliability. This verse reminds us to place our trust in God's promises and teachings. In the Old Testament, we see numerous instances where God's Word brought about deliverance and victory, such as the Exodus from Egypt and the conquest of Jericho. In the New Testament, Jesus often quoted and fulfilled Old Testament prophecies, solidifying the trustworthiness of God's Word. For example, in Matthew 5 verse 17, Jesus states that he came not to abolish the law but to fulfill it. This reassures us that God's Word remains steadfast and trustworthy, giving us confidence in our faith. 2. Fearlessness in God's protection. The psalmist boldly declares that in God, there is no fear. This verse encourages us to trust in God's protection, knowing that mere mortals cannot harm us when we are under His care. Throughout the Old Testament, we witness God's faithfulness in protecting His people, such as Daniel in the lion's den, Daniel 6 verse 22, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, Daniel 3 verse 25. In the New Testament, we find Jesus assuring His followers of God's loving protection. In Matthew 10 verse 28, Jesus encourages His disciples not to fear those who can kill the body but cannot touch the soul. This reinforces the idea that our ultimate safety lies in God's hands, granting us the courage to face any challenges without fear. 3. Overcoming mortal limitations. The psalmist's question, "What can mere mortals do to me?" reminds us of the limited power of human beings. In our lives, we often encounter situations where people may try to harm or undermine us. However, this verse reminds us that no matter the adversity we face, God's power surpasses any mortal limitations. In the Old Testament, we witness God's deliverance in the lives of individuals like Joseph, who endured betrayal and imprisonment but eventually rose to a position of power, Genesis 37-50. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul exemplifies this by facing persecution and imprisonment yet remaining steadfast in his faith and proclaiming the gospel fearlessly. Conclusion. Psalm 56 verse 4 serves as a powerful reminder of our unwavering trust in God's Word and His protection. Throughout the Old and New Testaments, we see the implications of this verse in various aspects of life. By trusting in God's promises, finding courage in His protection, and recognizing the limitations of mere mortals, we can live with unwavering faith and find strength in every situation. So, let us hold fast to this truth and rest in the assurance that, with God, we need not fear anything that mortal beings can do to us.